Move on to our next story. A fundamental principle of justice is that it must not only be done, but must also be seen to be done. In a significant development, the Edo Election Tribunal has been relocated to Abuja. This was disclosed by the Tribunal's Secretary, Muazu Bagudu, on Friday. Although no official reason was given for the move, reports suggest it may be linked to disturbances at the court premises in the past. Adeoye, let me come to you. The PDP has accused APC of attempting to disrupt the proceedings. I mean, there's been this back and forth between both parties. How do you react to this?
Well, I think in Edo State, people are waiting with suspended breath, because once the Supreme Court gives its judgment, that is the final, So, in this kind of situation, the PDP still hopes that something will happen. Why the APC also feels that, look, we're already there, and we hope that the judgment is in our favor. But I think what the panel did, what the tribunal did, was the right thing to do. By law, the tribunal can sit anywhere in the country. I remember there have been so many cases. Ekiti State was at Ilorin, that not it didn't even sit in the Ekiti, and many other cases like that. That there is no law that says that you must sit, at a particular place where the election held. So I think it's good that it was taken away from Benin, because the security of judicial officials, the security of clients, of witnesses, so I think it's a better thing that it was. And I don't think there's any way it's going to affect the outcome of the decision of the court. So I believe what happened was the right thing, and we should just hope for the final decision of the Supreme Court. And I hope at that time people will know their level, as they say in Benin.
All right. As you call them, because it looks like PDP supporters are more concerned about fair hearing at the tribunal.
The PDP supporters, they believe that they have a case and they can win this at the tribunal, and even the entire case, But so far so good. I think what the tribunal did was just the right thing, because the past few weeks and months, there've been serious insecurity, breach of security around the tribunal venue. The last video I saw was about a man, a guy carrying rifle and was shooting.
Video. Yeah.
He was shooting, and then at the end of the guy was even doing it in such a way that nothing can harm him. You understand? So if somebody can do that,
as one of the videos.
Yes, this one now is a private security guard. He actually came with, he said he came with one of the governorship candidates. So they had to, tell him that where is the governorship candidate? He's not here. Then why are you here? They have to now drive him away. So we don't want a situation whereby those who are coming as witnesses, get killed or get beaten or harmed. And we don't also want a situation whereby the council are also harmed, or even the tribunal, the panel. We don't want anybody to get harmed. And so this is not the first time we are moving a case.
Yes.
Even the last one, the Kogi, governorship election, was moved to Abuja. So this is also being moved to Abuja, because that is where we now have enough security. If you have evidence, go there and tender. If a witness has to go there, let him go there. Definitely, it's the political parties that will take the witnesses there. So they will know how to foot the bill. If they will need to fly from Benin to Abuja, keep the person. So it's just going to be an extra cost for all the political parties, But it's good that this is happening. We'll need to put this case to bed, because all the time when elections come like this, we need to always go to the tribunal. From the tribunal, we'll go to so it's just being ridiculous, honestly.
So talking about
we need to find a way to always stop when once a case is, the election is done. Politicians must always find a way of saying it's enough. But they won't. They won't. Everybody feels that I am the winner. Everybody feels I'm the winner. I think it's only the Labour Party candidate that said there's no point going. It's just the PDP candidate that said it's going. So, you know, pressing charge.
So talking about witnesses, PDP has now presented 10 witnesses. But, you know, past proceedings have shown us that it's not about presenting witnesses, but can they prove that indeed this and this happened? I mean, look at the 2023 election. Peter Obi presented about 13 witnesses. 10 of them were...
Have you forgotten the number he said he was going to present? You know? And he brought tons and tons of cartons. At the end of the day,
and documents.
You understand? It didn't amount to anything, you know. So, but what we are saying is, if the PDP, they have cast enough evidence, they should now take it there. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So if he has witnesses, he should take his witnesses.
Well, at the moment, some of the witnesses have started flopping.
Yes,
one of them already said his involvement was limited to overseeing results at the Situation Room and that it was not at the collation centers. So would you blame this on lawyers or politicians themselves who will do everything to make sure they go to court, to the tribunal? Adeoye?
Well, you see, if you win any election, and genuinely, you know, you have the highest number of votes that you can prove, it will be very difficult for you to lose in any court of law. It's not just about going to the media and saying all sorts of things. The technicalities of law. Do we have votes that are invalid? Were the buses carted away that, you know, you could not have enough votes for a particular candidate? Were there disruptions in certain local governments or certain polling units? If you are saying that you recorded the number, the number of votes or there was rigging, then you need to also be able to put it forensically. You remember the Ekitis, you know, that they had to bring somebody from UK. They were going through those ballot papers one by one. But now it's even easier. Because at that time, we had no biometrics. It was not as sophisticated as what we have today. So in this case now, it's easier to prove if you have won, if you are the one that has won the election. So I believe the job of the judges is not going to be, of the judges is going to be, it has been made easier by the advancement that INEC has made in technology. All this talking about, you know, just talking in the media, it's just a diversion. By the time you go to court, the evidence, you know, you provide your evidence based on facts, based on figures. I mean, there is no way the judge can upturn, you know, your position. So I think instead of just, you know, doing media trial, the lawyers should go and, you know, push their case in the court and come out with evidence cast in stone that cannot be disproved by the opponent. And I think that I don't want to predict what will be the outcome. That would be prejudicial. But I believe that at the end of the day, the Supreme Court will do justice to this case.
But must it get to the Supreme Court?
It has to.
Well, it has to.
It
has to, you know, because if you don't get to the Supreme Court, there is no way you can convince the other opponent that, you know, a party, you know, was one that actually won the election. So,
all right. So
and thank God, it's not going to take, it's not like before that to take about 3 years, you know. So in the next few months, you know, we'll know the rightful owner. Who will be,
all right. So this idea of perpetrating violence or sponsoring thugs at tribunal proceedings, when do we begin to have this conversation? And that now that this case has been moved to Abuja, what difference would it make?
Well, the difference it's going to make is that the lawyers on both sides are better protected. Because it's a different ball game when they have to live in Benin, you know, maybe rent hotels. Then the judges too, you know, it means that they are better protected. Because if they live in that community, it will be easier for, you know, thugs. But any thug wants to go to Abuja now from Benin, he needs to think twice. He needs to pass through a lot of roadblocks. And when you go to Abuja, there's not your terrain. It's not going to be so easy for you to operate when you are operating in a place that is indigenous to you. So I think it's a better thing that the judges did. And I believe it's going to give them to work in a more conducive environment where there's no fear, there's no anxiety about, you know, some non-state actors attacking them. We have seen what is going on there, that, you know, people, tension is high. and there could be disruption, there could be violence, there could be mass
during before the election.
Yes, people can even mobilize maybe in hundreds and go to the tribunal. So I think what happened, it's a very good development. All right.
Asuka, your final take on this before we move on.
No, that is a very wonderful decision to have taken, and we just want to put this matter to bed, But those who have alleged, they have to prove their case beyond reasonable doubt. That is the word that is always when you go to the court, if you want
who alleges must prove.
Yes, must prove. No, this one is even beyond reasonable doubt.
Okay.
You understand? So if you say, okay, that you are the winner, you also have to prove how, so...
Because Ighodalo is very confident of tribunal victory.
I have seen his confidence level,
The politicians are always very confident.
There's no politician that loses a case.
Yes.
It is only when the Supreme Court decides. That is when it will dawn on them. You understand? So we just hope that at the end of the day, when they get to Abuja, no lives will be lost, and the judges will be able to do justice to this matter.
And Edo people can definitely move on with their lives.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, gentlemen, let's move on.